Okay, so these are the potatoes for the first set of potato tower experiments. These are Casablanca first earlies, and I've got 24 of them. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to chip them in here until they've sprouted. We're going to have 6 in a normal potato tower, 6 in the modified one, which I'll be experimenting with, and then the other 12 are going to go into the grow bags. Okay, so this is the one of the oyster mushroom bags. I actually have 2 bags. One of them I'm making a point of not moving, so that's I'm not handling that at all. And this one I'm handling for all the photography for the blog. It's usually not on the windowsill. I've just moved it to the windowsill for filming. But you can see this is I think about 5 days of growth now. I've got loads of little mycelium growing in there. And this is a vacuum bag that I've just rolled. I've rolled and taped the top down, and then I've poked holes in it. And the sawdust in here is just normal pet sawdust, and that was pasteurised in basically in a big pan on the hob for about 45 minutes. Yeah, so this is really cool. I've never grown mushrooms before. I've tried and it didn't work. I never got any mycelium, and I think that was probably due to like bacteriological infection and whatever. So I was extra careful to make sure everything was sterile with this. I am aware that I'm handling this one, which hopefully won't introduce any bacteria or whatever from my hands, but it might do. Just a kind of quick interesting note, this is my temperature data logger from the polytunnel. This hasn't been working for for about 6 months now. These are little temperature probes. There's 2 of these. One of these goes outside the fish tank and one of them goes inside. This hasn't been working for a few months because the polytunnel was hit by lightning about 6 months ago, and over the winter I wasn't too interested in the temperature in the fish tank, so I never got around to fixing it. And now that we've got Wi-Fi up there, I'm going to try and get this running. It normally just connects to the internet through a cable, and I think having we had about a 50-metre Ethernet cable running out to the polytunnel. I think that basically just acted as a big aerial and attracted lightning. So I'm not going to, unless people are like particularly interested, I'm probably just going to fix this and put it back out there and maybe do a video on it later on. But I'm not going to like do too much blog video on that for the time being. You can see I've got some of the laser cutter parts down here. We're just figuring out some spacings on these. I think I need to modify these plates because I managed to buy the wrong model plate. I've got the electronics, as an LCD screen and an Arduino Mega, and I'm going to do a proper video on it, but I'm going to be using this to get the milling machine up and running. So we've got a joystick for controlling the mill manually, and there'll be one of these for the laser cutter as well. So all the MacGuffins and my notebook for the laser cutter build. There's a little robot, which doesn't really do anything. So there's my laptop. See, I've got the analytics for YouTube running on that. Yeah, anyway, so I'm just going to clear the deck here, and we'll go through the we'll do an unboxing on the potato and onion sets. Okay, so here are the ones we just saw up on the windowsill. These are the Casablanca first earlies. They basically come in like a 2 kilo bag, which contains about 20 to 24 potatoes. And I got these from JPA Seed Potatoes, which is an online company. They do, I think it was a 3-day delivery on these. So yeah, quite happy on that. I've not grown Casablanca before. I've grown it. I've bought that on recommendation mainly for its pest resistance. I have had historically lots of problems with blight and with other potato pests. So I'm kind of selecting based on resistance to most things. Casablanca isn't explicitly resistant to potato blight, as in like the fungus, but it is more resistant than other varieties, and it is resistant against a lot of other common potato pests. So I've got quite high hopes for this. It's also got a pretty quick growth cycle. I think it's edible size crops achieved in 62 days. I'll be interested to see how well that works out, and we're going to be racing the grow bags, a normal potato tyre, and a modified potato tower. And I'm going to do a whole video on that, because that's actually the video for the potato experiment last year hit 10,000 views the other week, which is literally my most popular video. So that was a really nice milestone. The channel's still pretty small right now, but that was really cool. Okay, so the next variety I've got for my second earlies are Wilgia. I grew these last year on recommendation from a friend who runs a big market garden in the local area, and he was basically saying these are probably the best early potatoes you can do locally. So based on that, I've gone with Wilgia. They came out really nice last year. You kind of see they're like little odd like oval sizes. They boiled really nice, and I've made some of the nicest boiled potatoes I've ever had out of these. So these canned perfectly. So I'm really looking forward to canning these and making like curries and stuff out of them for later on in the winter. If you can them in the pressure canner with all the curry spices or whatever, it all like kind of infuses into the potato, and you get really good curry. Probably some of the best curry flavours I've had for everything. So I'm really looking for. I've got high hopes for these. Hopefully they won't go. So these are going to go in soon, but I'm going to focus on the Casablancas first. Okay, and these are the main event. These are Sarpo Mira, which have been highly recommended by a lot of YouTubers and a lot of bloggers as being the most blight. Well, it says right on the packet, the most blight-resistant potato family. Now, considering that historically I've had all of these problems with potato blight here, and nothing I can do seems to shift that, the main crop ones, which are going to be around longest and going to be around into the colder months of the year, I want it to be as resistant as I could possibly get. So, Sarpo Mira. I've got 2 kilos of these, so it's probably about 40 seed potatoes. What I'm going to do is plant these out, do a lot of potato tire towers, do a lot of grow bags. I'll probably put in the grow bag ones after I've emptied out the first earlies, because there'll be a much longer growing cycle in the polytunnel, a longer season in the polytunnel. And then I'll get these into the outside tyre garden as soon as possible. I'm also going to see if I can get some more tyres and like extend that a lot. We had pretty good success with it last year. The blight slowed things down and the irrigation problems slowed things down. And what I'm hoping to do is solve those problems. So we're probably going to have a second kind of potato tower face-off with classic potato tyres, the modifications that I've got in mind, and we're probably going to do grow bags as well. And I'm going to try to do those three things like facing off against each other for the Sarpo, for the Wilgia, and for the Casablancas. And we're going to basically then go from per seed potato. We're going to look at how much yield we got. So something I'm interested in is like yield per square foot area, because obviously you have quite a small polytunnel. Well, not quite a small polytunnel, but it's never going to be as big as I want it to be, basically. So what I'm going to do is try and get these as much cropping from these as possible in square footage, and we're going to basically rank the different approaches to growing them based on that. Okay, and the last thing I've got here are onion sets. I have about 300 sets here. These are Stuttgarter, which I've had grown in the past, and they store really well. So these are my long-term storage ones. Unfortunately, I didn't have the time last year to set up my own onion sets. I'll probably be doing that, growing them from seed later in the season this year over the winter, so that I've only got next year's sets ready. But for the time being, I've bought sets. I know they probably won't give as good results, but that's how we're going to do it. So these are going to start going into medium grow bags. I need to make a load more medium grow bags. I'll do a separate video on that probably tonight. I was going to do 3 videos, one for each grow bag size. At the moment we've got a lot of stuff going on in the studio, so I've not been able to get up there with some quiet time to get the sewing machine out and do some proper filming on that. But probably tonight I'll have the chance to get started on that. So yeah, these are going to be medium grow bags. I'm going to get as many of these as I can planted out. I'm going to start expanding the grow bag system as well in the next couple of weeks, because I'm actually now pretty much out of space in the system that I've got. The other thing I might do is put some of these in the wicking beds. I've grown them in raised beds in the past, and they worked really well. So I'll probably do that in the wicking bed when I get it fixed.